Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of High Strangeness. We're going to be jumping into a kind of a weird story that I've been following for a while. Actually, been trying to track down to see if I can disprove it, maybe in a sense. It's kind of a weird story, and I see sites all over the place that saying that they've disproven it and it's not true and all kinds of things. But I've never been able to put anything together on my end to say that it was true or that it wasn't true. So I'm just going to leave it up to you guys and see what you guys think. I'm just here to share the story, and you guys think what you will. But I've always found it kind of interesting, and I've always wondered on my own time whether things like this actually happen in real life. Um, this has something to do with like time traveling, or it has a lot to do with time traveling actually. I wonder if people come to our plane of existence all the time. We see them, and then they're just gone. Nobody ever sees them again. They go back to their own time. I'm sure that has to happen. It just has to. Um, but yeah, so you guys let me know. This is going to be who is actually the man from Taured. If you guys are familiar with the story, let me know what you guys know about it. If it's fake, let me know where I can find information about it and stuff, so I can put that to rest. But like I said, I'm not trying to convince anybody that it's true, or I'm not trying to convince anybody that it's not. I just found it interesting, So we do here. That's why it's called High Strangeness, because the story is definitely strange as heck. So yeah, let's jump into it, and then I'll let you guys know what's going on. We also have another article that I want to kind of read through afterwards, maybe clean up a little information that they might not cover within the video. I haven't seen the video all the way through, so we're going to be watching it together for the first time. So here we go.
The imaginative world of
This video is from Jinzo X. I'll have it posted down below so you guys can follow that.
the science fiction genre has been home of the fantastical creations such as time travel and the existence of aliens. Space travel, too, was something long restricted to that of fiction, but as time has proved, we humans become a step closer to this by each year. Another prominent feature of the genre is that of parallel universes, with many divided on the possibility of an existence of a parallel universe. Experts overall believe that, like space travel, only time can tell. However, our inability to discover a universe parallel to our Earth's doesn't discount the ability of said parallel universe to find us. At least, that is the prevailing theory in the story of The Man from Taured, otherwise known as Taured Mystery, or The Man Without a Country. This tale begins in Japan in 1954 in an unusually hot month of July. A bearded man of Caucasian appearance arrived at Haneda Airport, more commonly known as Tokyo International Airport, from a European flight with the aim of staying in Japan for a few days on business. The man was said to primarily speak French, but could communicate in Japanese. However, at customs, when he was required to state his country of origin, the man mentioned that he hailed from a country known as Taured. When informed that the country didn't exist, the man provided his passport in order to provide evidence. To the shock and bewilderment of the customs officials, the passport itself was clearly issued from said non existent country. Even more intriguing is the fact that inside the Taured issued passport were a number of visa stamps of previous visits to Japan and other European countries that supported his statement. Baffled, airport officials called the company the man claimed to be meeting in Japan. This too led to further suspicion as the company claimed they had never heard of the man before the airport authorities had called. Believing
That would also suck if It's one thing if you're an actual time traveler and you're going to the future or in the past on purpose, but you know what, like what you're doing. I've always had this fear, and it's probably an irrational fear. I'm sure it is that one day I'll be walking down the street and I'll unknowingly walk into a portal of some kind that just happens to open up because there's some kind of rift in the space-time continuum or something, and I just like walk into 2560, or I walk back in time to like 1320 or something, and then there's just like no way to get back because it was one of those freak accidents, and then you're just gone from your time, from your plane of existence, and you're just gone. And I've always had this thought about, what if that's actually what happens to people that go missing, like people that they just never find, like the work that David Politis does with like missing people, and these people that they just never find ever, ever, ever again. Maybe they just accidentally walked into a portal of some kind, and there's just no way of getting back, and they're just gone forever. That would suck so bad. It's crazy.
This to be an elaborate ruse that the officials were playing on him, the man from Taured was said to be in a state of disbelief. Customs then took him in for questioning, assuming he was either mentally ill or a criminal of some kind. Immediately, officials brought up a map so that the man could point out where he believes Taured to be positioned. The man became perplexed, however, as the territory which he pointed to was the Principality of Andorra, located between the countries of Spain and France, stating that the principality was not called Andorra, but Taured. The man continued stating that the proud territory had existed for 1,000 years, but with both immigration officials and the man himself becoming irate and confused, officials saw it best to withhold his travel for the time being in order for them to investigate. The man was given a hotel room for the night with the front door, the only way out, guarded by two immigration officials. Other than that, the room possessed an edgeless window high above a busy street. As the following morning began, the mystery took a turn for the worse. The citizen of Taured had vanished, literally without a trace. There were no signs of escape in the hotel room, and the two guards reported nothing out of the ordinary. The mystery deepened. However, not only had the man himself disappeared, but so too had all documents pertaining to his identity, which would have served as crucial evidence in the investigation of this person. Since then, little has been heard or discovered regarding the man and the story in Colin Wilson's Directory of Possibilities in 1981, with Tom Sleman repeating the same tale in his text. Strange but true. Mysterious and Bizarre People in 1999. Both texts adhere to the same timeline and story, but neither revealed anything new to the tale. Most importantly, what happened to the man from Taured. The most popular and notable explanations for the anomaly, that is, the tale of the man from Taured, linked to his disappearance. The prevailing theory is that he passed through a parallel dimension by accident and arrived at Tokyo International Airport. Therefore, this theory suggests that the timeline of our Earth runs parallel to another. In this parallel version, largely everything follows the same course, apart from a few aspects that differ, such as the Principality of Andorra in our universe, named Taured in another. But how probable is this explanation? Certainly, the fact that human beings have been unable to find a parallel universe, or even develop the technology to do so, does not discount this possibility. It merely limits the ability to deny otherwise. It is unlikely that we will ever know whether the man from Taured truly existed, as well as what ultimately happened to him. His tale has become shrouded in mystery, making it the focus for many paranormal and science fiction conspiracy theories. But as humans continue to technologically develop, opportunities regarding space and the universe open up for investigation, meaning that one day we might know just who the man from Taured was. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share, and
Yeah, that's wild. Um, yeah, like I said, just kind of what he touched on there as well. Maybe he accidentally crossed over through some kind of time portal or something. Like I said, he just was just one of those unlucky people that maybe fell through one, didn't even know it, and continued on like nothing was wrong. And it could just be that you go into another time or another plane of existence, another parallel, kind of universe, and it could be almost identical to what's going on in our time zone right now, or like our time in the universe, but maybe one thing is off. Maybe a certain country doesn't exist anymore, or maybe it does, but it has a different name, or like a certain person is the president now, and it's not this one person that you remember. Just something very simple and something small like that. Or it could be that it's something completely out of left field. It's everything is completely different, and you don't recognize anything of it. Names of entire continents are different, or countries, and just it's it's extremely interesting. But the level of knowledge you would need to have to understand what the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth dimensions are, and like how to explain that to people. Just forget explaining to people, but just how open you'd have to have your mind, and how free you'd have to open your mind to be able to understand how that works. That's beyond anything. I would love to kind of nail that down, experience it. Maybe kind of, it'd be kind of creepy, but yeah, it's weird. And like I said, this thing was presented as kind of a conspiracy from other places that I've heard it and stuff, but in other places it's considered a true story, and there's not enough information about it to prove it right or wrong, like either way. So I don't know. You guys just kind of take it with a grain of salt. I'll have the story for it linked in the show notes so you guys can follow that. Maybe pull up. There's some sources that have listed here, so you can read through them and maybe try to piece it together on your own. I don't know. They have like a few books and stuff they pulled like snippets of it from and stuff like that. So I don't know. And I'll read this just about that. It says, while many internet sites had repeated the basic story of the man from Taured as laid out by Wilson and Sleman, in fact, Sleman had published his short paragraph about it on his own webpage as early as 2001 to advertise his book. I'm guessing he wrote about it in his book. The earliest occurrence of the extended version of the story is in April 2012, posting in the Before It's News website by Terrence Aim. And it's from that posting that the person that wrote this article summarized the account above, which was the exact same story they presented here in the video. In presenting the longer account, Aim explained that parts of the story were related in several books about the weird and strange published during the 1950s. So I'm assuming there was a book called The Weird and Strange. The Weird and Strange. Um, and then implied he had gathered together the details from these accounts to garner the fuller story. He does not, however, name any of these 1950s sources for the story. The only source he actually mentions is an online 2007 posting of Tom Sleman's chapter on appearing people from his strange but true book, which includes the paragraph on the man from Taured. So yeah, there's a few books and websites from back in the day that they pulled some of this information from. Um, yeah, it's weird. I mean, I have no doubt that it actually happens in real life every day. People come back, or they come from other times, past, future, whatever. They show up here and see kind of what's going on, maybe hide in the shadows, just kind of observing, and then they just disappear and they keep moving on. It's weird, but I've always been kind of saddened that we'll probably most likely go to our grave not knowing any of what's really happening and how to explain it and stuff like that. So it's fascinating on one end, but also sad on the other that we'll probably never know how it all works. um, but yeah, it's crazy. Well, anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys stopping in again for that episode. I have all the links down to social media and links to emails. You can go ahead and send over uh, topic recommendations and stuff. We're still trying to pull guests together for the podcast. It's kind of hard. You got to scrape these people up. Maybe some are interested, some aren't. Some say they'll do it and then don't end up doing it. Whatever, it's all good. But we're gonna keep trucking on, and we'll see what we can put together. If not, you'll just have my ugly old face back on another episode by myself talking about something. So we'll try to see what we can pull together, and we'll just keep rocking and rolling because this thing's just for fun, and we're just trying to talk about topics that interest us. So we'll scrounge something up for you guys. Stay tuned for that. Keep a lookout. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thumbs up and all that good stuff. Make sure you guys subscribe if you aren't already subscribers. We appreciate that. Share the show with a friend, family member, colleague, whatever. The more the merrier, right? But yeah, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. We'll catch you in the next one. Adios.